people who are missing from alligator Auschwitz. And I'm saying that because there are reports from people who were there, who were in these cages that were intended for 10 people with 100 people piled up on top of each other on the floors, no bedding. And now we're learning that at least 800 people just completely wiped from the system. And when we say missing, their families cannot find them. No one's being told where they are. 800 names disappeared from the database, and 400 people have family members who are being told, just give us a call and we'll update you. 1,200 people. And of course, when you post that on Facebook, people are like, well, if they weren't here illegally, check the ocean. These are the Christians. These are the people who are telling us that they follow the Bible. And the Bible says you shouldn't do this and you should do that. Show me the part where it says that you want to make jokes about human beings dying possibly in the ocean or being attacked by alligators. And thank you for telling us who you are. That's one of the things that I do appreciate seeing you pop up on Facebook and saying these things, is that we know who you are and where you are. And when I say that, I just mean, we're aware now. It's a matter of awareness. So thank you for popping your head up and raising your hand and saying, I am a complete turd. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. You're a supremacist. We have an interesting show. We are going to be launching our weekly podcast. Well, it's Minocqua Brewing Company's podcast, and that is going to be Up North podcast starting today at 6 o'clock. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I will be joining Kirk Bangstad, Ben Cominos, Amy Thomas, all of us writers and collaborators on the Minocqua Brewing Company's Substack. I write a column every single Monday. This week's was in regards to what are you willing to give up. This is a time when, in order to be heard, in order to make a difference, you have to be ready to be uncomfortable. And the idea that Disney decided to change course it appears based entirely on people going, you know what, I don't need to watch Hulu, and it seems small to cancel your Hulu and Disney subscriptions, but that's where we need to start and say we can get off the couch and stop watching these shows. I don't need it. When they fix things, when things get at least back on track, I can catch up on my shows. The bare minimum should be canceling our subscriptions to something that's already to companies that are nickel and diming us for entertainment, because it is not entertaining to know that the White House is putting pressure on these media outlets, on these networks, on these corporations, and saying, well, the FCC guy said we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Everyone is saying on the right, in MAGA, they're saying that it's not censorship. The government didn't make them stop. Are you kidding me? Saying we can do this the easy way or the hard way is not pressure from the federal government, alluding to the fact that we're going to make your mergers difficult because they went for their pocketbook. But so did the American people by canceling subscriptions, by stopping attendance. Their parks. The attendance at Disneyland and Disney World dropped. People in France are going to stop going to their properties. I told you when I got back from Europe on Monday, every single person that I talked to about the United States, and these are people that travel here, that like coming to, whether it's Vegas or visiting friends. One guy I talked to has a girlfriend from Canada. Her family owns property in Idaho. None of them want to come. I ran into a guy at the airport who's from Germany. He said he will not come to the United States. Maybe when I'm an old man, things will be better. And this guy was like in his 40s. Telling me that he's not going to come here till he's older, and I can't dissuade them from avoiding the United States. If I don't know if I would want to come. We've seen over and over again, not just the fact that there is the control element, whether it's our freedom of speech, it's the violent political rhetoric. And the idea that you want to point the finger at liberals and say that we are dangerous, that we are inciting violence, when just last night Jesse Waters said that we should bomb the UN because somebody made the escalator stop and screwed up Donald Trump's teleprompter. They said, we got to find those people. We have to fire them. And Jesse Waters on Fox News on television said that we should bomb the UN or burn the building down. and this is on what's called a news network. We know it's entertainment. They admitted to as much. But it turns out, by the way, for those of you who haven't caught up yet, that it was both the escalator mishap, stopping, and they weren't in the middle of the escalator. They were just on the first few steps, and then they just, they became stairs, and they climbed them. But Jesse Waters like, oh, Melania could have fallen. She could have gotten hurt. Trump would have been fine. But, she could have gotten hurt. It was somebody from Trump's own team that hit the kill switch on the escalator, and it was Trump's team that was running the teleprompter. But it doesn't matter because those words are already out there that it was sabotage, that someone was trying to make him look bad. And what is the phrase? A lie leaves the barn and runs around the world before you even get out of bed and put your shoes on. I'm messing up that quote, but you know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Because the lies from MAGA, from this administration, take hold. They weasel their way into brains. We're all sitting there going, well, that can't be right. Whether we Google or we wait until more information comes out, just like the day of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, a lot of us said, this is unacceptable. This is tragic. We are all humans. But making those statements made absolutely no difference to MAGA. Now we're learning that possibly this administration is leaking lies, and it won't matter because there are still people who believe that Melissa Hortman, the minority floor leader of the Democrats in the state of Minnesota's General Assembly, was assassinated by somebody who had a whole list of Democrats that he wanted to execute, that he wanted to assassinate, that he was going to go to their homes. And everyone's like, oh, but he worked for Tampon Tim. And that lie has continued to be pervasive. It has taken a grip of their minds, and they still believe it. And it was not true because that administration, both Governor Walz and the previous governor, they would bring on people. They would appoint people from all parties. And I want to know, are you saying now that Democrats should never try to reach across the aisle, that we should never try to collaborate with people that we disagree with? Because I'm not somebody who wants to do that, but MAGA is forcing our hand. Well, what were we talking about? I don't know what I was going to say earlier, but I'm a little bit fired up. Oh my God, they're gonna investigate. They're gonna bring up charges. The DOJ is gonna have charges against James Comey and the Russia investigation, saying that he lied in front of Congress. I hope this is one of those situations where they have all the receipts, that more information actually comes out, and actually how bad it was, and the crimes that James Comey believes Donald Trump is guilty of or could be charged with. I don't know if it'll make a difference. I don't know if we'll ever learn about it, because the way they control things certainly makes it seem as though we don't have access to the truth. I do want to thank our sponsors before we get to our first guest in the show. I want to thank Minocqua Brewing Company, and go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. And we have our Up North podcast coming up in just a little bit. Pride Coffee Roasters will be at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market this Sunday. You can go to PrideCoffeeRoasters.com and see their entire schedule for the Chicagoland markets that they will be sharing their incredible single origin roast beans. And you can also order some fun swag or bean subscription, especially if you don't live in the Chicagoland area. That's PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. And for a limited time, they do have a discount of 10% off your entire order. So that's Drive Home 10 at PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. Go to Source Solar. There is a limited time for you to take advantage of the incentives by the federal government. At the end of this year, they will expire. For businesses, you have a little more time, but go to source.solar and make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. I do want to get to our guests. We're gonna do two segments here. I want to start with this conversation because Phil Martinez is joining us from our friends at the American. But tell folks about AFSP. This is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, correct?
Yes, exactly. Hi, Patty. Thank you so much for having us and for supporting us again. We are the largest suicide prevention foundation in the United States, and we have chapters in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and D.C. We have over 70 chapters, and we address the issue of mental health awareness and suicide prevention through three main branches: education, advocacy, and research. So I'd be happy to expand on any of those and tell you what's going on. Our big event is kicking off this Saturday down in Chicago's beautiful lakefront at Montrose Harbor. It's the Chicagoland Out of the Darkness Walk. And as I said, Illinois has typically been the standard bearer for events. It is the largest suicide prevention event in the U.S., and we have been proud to have that distinction for the last 14 years to bring people together in a community of hope and support.
It's tremendous, and I think that part of the reason why I am always enthused, I always want to have this microphone available to your organization and those that want to speak about mental health issues, in particular when it comes to suicide, is I think that we don't talk about it enough, and I think that normalizing these conversations is a part of finding a way forward, isn't it?
Oh, so much so. In fact, that's where we got our name, the Out of the Darkness Walk, was to bring the conversation of mental health awareness and suicide and depression out of the darkness and into the light. In fact, you also bring up another good point that I really try to impress when I have an audience to speak to, is that it was a common fallacy for many, many years, still is to some extent, that talking about suicide may increase someone's chances of taking that act, when we find the exact opposite to be true. Research has shown us over and over again that talking about suicide with someone actually significantly decreases their chances of them acting on those thoughts. Because
it's hard to explain to people, and this is something that I in one part of my life, I did have active thoughts about it and attempted, and I don't think people can understand that you can be living your life and seem completely normal, but the voice in your head that tells you this is the best thing to do, it's really hard to explain to people that how it has a grip, how powerful it is, right?
It really is. And the thing is, there's no single cause or reason that someone may die by suicide. It's a cluster of areas in personal life and personal health and environment that contribute to bringing someone to that place. And I appreciate your sharing your own personal history and story with us, because that is one of the things that we will look at people and celebrities most often. Robin Williams, that we lost just a few years ago, who died by suicide. On the surface, it looked like the man had everything going for so many years, that he had overcome a lot of his demons, but clearly, like I said, suicide shows no bias. There is no bar from it. There is nothing that can separate us from it except our own mental health and well-being.
Absolutely. And I want to continue this conversation. Again, we are talking to Phil Martinez. He is the board chair of American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. The largest suicide prevention event in the U.S., Out of the Darkness Chicagoland Walk, steps off on Saturday, September 27th. And we want to make sure you have information about that. This is, of course, the Illinois chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And you can visit their website. What's the best way for folks to get involved with this weekend's event? AFSP.org?
Exactly. You just go on there, you look up the Chicagoland Walk or walks in general, and you'll find a link to click you to all the information, as well as a QR code that you can register to participate in the walk. And I always also emphasize that while it is primarily a fundraising event, you do not need to fundraise to attend. Like I said, we want to bring a community of support and hope and healing to all who are affected by suicide.
I appreciate that. Let's continue our conversation with Phil Martinez when we come back on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150. Thank you for joining us.
Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
People who listen to WCPT, you are bright, you are interested, you are interesting, and you are well informed. It is a gift for me to be here, and I appreciate it every day. We obviously couldn't do this without you.
Joan Esposito, weekday afternoons 2 to 5 on WCPT 820.
This is a WCPT moment in labor. In the summer of 1881, 2 decades after the Civil War, 20 African-American laundresses met at a local church in Atlanta to form the Washing Society, a trade organization which looked to create a higher uniform wage and greater work autonomy for laundresses, also known as washerwomen. Through the help of local preachers and door-to-door canvassing, the Washing Society grew from 20 members to 3,000 in only a few weeks. The workers went on strike and faced opposition from their employers as well as the local politicians. The Atlanta City Council proposed a licensing fee for their organizing efforts. Strikers agreed to the fee in exchange for self-regulation. In the end, the city council rejected the proposed fees and the laundresses prevailed. The impact of the strike led to increased wages for some, but showed that African American workers, including women, were vital to the New South economy. This has been a WCPT Moment in Labor. We're working for your rights.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us for this very important conversation. We are talking to Phil Martinez. He is the board chair for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Illinois chapter, and they have an event coming up on Saturday, September 27th. That's this weekend. This is the Out of the Darkness Chicagoland Walk. Where is this event going to take place, my friend?
We're right in Montrose Harbor. You're right off of Lakeshore Drive. We've got lots of parking available there. Of course, public transportation can get you there, but it's just a beautiful site, Patty. On one side, you have all the beautiful buildings of the city. On the other, you have Chicago's glorious lakefront, Lake Michigan over there. So it's a very peaceful, it's a very calming atmosphere. In fact, several of us are going to try and get together that morning to maybe do a little yoga practice before we kick things off.
I love that. That's a great idea. And I think that there are so many people who, when someone dies from suicide, people start thinking, what did I miss? What could I have done differently? There's a lot of that. And I think, and I understand that completely. I had a situation where there was a comedian named Brody Stevens who I had on my show, and 6 weeks later, and when he was in the studio, I mean, he was extraordinarily upbeat, was very enthusiastic about being on the show. He was very excited about being in studio. And it was one of those things where I was so caught off guard. And I think that I read a piece about how much people who have suicidal thoughts do want to live. Right. And there isn't one way that people who are having these thoughts behave, or any indicators. Right.
Exactly. We find that there's a great deal of ambivalence going into it. It's not such a clear cut, made up my mind. But that example you bring up, I myself was brought into this organization when I lost my cousin Mark to suicide back in 2004, and more recently I lost another friend, Brian, and I actually be coming up on the second anniversary of his loss on October 1st. Both of those. I'm a mental health professional, Patty. That's my day job. I'm a licensed clinical professional counselor. And when I heard the news, especially my cousin Mark, I sat there and was like, how did I miss this? How did I not see this? This is what I do for a living. And we were like brothers growing up. And the same with Brian. I saw Brian 2 weeks before he took his life. And I knew he was a little out of sorts, but I never thought he was in that place. But the thing is, the reason I didn't see it wasn't because of any short-sightedness of mine or yours or anyone out there. It's because those folks do not want us to see it.
Right.
They become very adept at wearing masks and hiding it. And so that's why if you see something unusual, if you see something out of the ordinary, if you have that little ping in your heart or your head that says something's not right here, ask. We tell people to ask.
And if you do have a conversation with somebody, because I've also read, telling someone, but you have so much to live for. You should be grateful for your life. These are not the things that this is not what they're talking about. This is not, of course, there are people who have ideas of taking their lives. It doesn't mean that they're not grateful for their lives or what they have in their lives. It's something else.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's completely something else. And this is no disrespect to anyone who's suffered with mental health issues or suicidal thoughts, but it's a completely irrational mindset. And when someone who doesn't experience that tries to put a rational thought into an irrational act, it's an exercise in futility. So because in their mind, they have a reason. And maybe the part of the world that doesn't experience suicide or depression cannot understand that reason, but they have that reason and it's theirs. So it's different. Like we said a few minutes ago, there's so many different aspects of this. There's no single indicator, which we would love to find and be able to identify, but we know it's not out there. We know that it's got to be many-fold and that it's many-layered and that we need to come at it from many perspectives.
Can you talk to us about the difference between sort of the passive thoughts of suicide and the active suicidal thoughts?
Of course, and because people who are depressed, and not everyone who suffers from depression will become suicidal. But people who are depressed, generally, they'll get in those states of mind where it's like, oh, I lost my job, my partner left me, my pet passed away, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to wake up in the morning. Or if I stepped off the curb and a truck hit me, I wouldn't care right now. And if an untrained mind or ear might hear that and think, oh my gosh, they're suicidal. It's like, no, that's where they're at emotionally. They need to be able to express those things. The other part of the other side of the coin that you mentioned is actively suicidal. So that's when we talk about somebody who has a plan in mind, a specific plan, either written or in their head of things, and they may be gathering materials or taking steps towards that happening. That's someone who is actively suicidal, as opposed to the passive, where it's more of an emotion of, this is where I'm at right now, but I'm not considering acting on it.
Yeah, that's the thing is, and that's so that I think I've been through both, because I remember having that, and it's hard. It does take people's breath away when you say, I don't want to be here, right? When you say I hope I don't wake up in the morning, and that sort of catches people off guard, and I know it makes them uncomfortable when I say it, because I went through this period of my life when my son was born with severe disabilities, and I didn't want to be this mom, and I hear an audience when I tell this story, it kind of catches their breath, and I think for some of them perhaps it's recognizing it, but other people are like, oh, she was suicidal. But it is something that we all, I wish, and I don't know how to accomplish this, but I wish that we treated mental health the same way we talk about dental health, right? We always talk about every 6 months you should get your teeth checked. I wish that everybody was encouraged to when you make your dental appointment, just catch up with somebody, just sit down and have a conversation about where you are, and then maybe you find out, I need a little extra work done, right?
It really is something, again, it would be ideal, but it is something we're working toward. We are working more with mental health professionals at all aspects. For example, at your local doctor's office, we're working with their office staff, we're working with their providers, we're working with their nursing staff to help them identify people who may be at risk. Now, a lot of times it's standard. They ask you if you feel safe or have you been depressed, but we want to take it a step further. And one of the areas that we've been focusing on these last few years is partnering with the American Pediatric Society to teach pediatricians, because the numbers in 23 indicated that the second leading cause of death was suicide between the ages of 10 and 24. And so I always indicate that first number. Yes, that's what we're dealing with. And it's like, how could a 10-year-old, how could an 11? I know children younger than that who have had suicidal ideation. So it is a lifelong journey. There is, we have numbers that show where more age groups, but again, just having that be the second leading cause of death for that age group it's too much.
It really is. What would you like folks to know about when it comes to their own mental health or those around them? What would you like to impart? What's the most important message you could share with them?
Pay attention, be aware, take care of yourself. Don't overlook yourself. You wouldn't want to overlook a friend. Don't overlook those things that might be warning signs to friends. If your audience is interested, you can find a lot of information on our website that you mentioned earlier, afsp.org. It tells a lot of the warning signs, a lot of the things to look for, and what to do if you see those warning signs in others or in yourself. We want to be really clear on that.
And what are some of the things that they should do if they see those warning signs in themselves and others?
Well, talk to somebody. Ideally, if they're at that stage where they're recognizing something in themselves, we want to encourage them to talk to a mental health professional. Whether they start with their home doctor or they get a therapist or they go out to talk to somebody in the clergy, somebody who is experienced at dealing with some of these things.
Thank you so much for the work that you and everyone at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention does. We want to encourage folks to visit afsp.org, and you'll find the Illinois chapter right there on their page. The event is this weekend, the largest suicide prevention event in the United States, Out of the Darkness Chicagoland Walk at Montrose Harbor. That's going to be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. again this Saturday, September 27th at Montrose Harbor. It's a beautiful beach, as Phil mentioned. They might be doing some yoga beforehand and get some deep breathing done. Thank you so much, Phil. I appreciate your time and work.
Again, Patty, thank you for all your support. We certainly appreciate you as well.
My pleasure. I'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's take a break here and open up the phone lines, the Credo Mobile phone and text line. Credo Mobile, better for the planet and for people. Go to credomobile.com. And they, for a short time, they have a promo code for you to use for 25% off your contract with them. It's 25% off. That is WCPT 25. credomobile.com. More in a moment on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. A few isolated showers tonight with a low temperature of 60 and winds out of the north at 5 to 15. Thursday, chance of showers and a few thunderstorms early in the day, and then sunshine in the afternoon with a high temperature of 71 degrees. Friday, lots of sun with a high temperature of 80. Saturday, sunny with a high temperature of 81 degrees. Sunday, plenty of sun with a high temperature of 77. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 72.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Think Theory Radio.
Theoretical astrophysicist Dan Hooper.
If there's someplace a light year away from now, there's nothing I can do now that can influence that place in less than a year. No matter what I do, no matter how I build my quantum machine, or no matter what I entangle or what I quantum teleport, nothing I can do here can affect that until a full year has passed, allowing light to get there at the speed of light.
Think Theory Radio with Damian Perdue. Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WCPT 820.
This is a WCPT 820 Heartland Signal News Minute.
We are in the thick of negotiation, and Democrats stand united in asking Republicans to meet us at the negotiating table.
That's Congresswoman Lauren Underwood, Democrat representing the 14th Congressional District of Illinois, speaking to WCPT's Joan Esposito ahead of the September 30th deadline for Congress to fund the federal government.
We have some simple demands. Number one, let's cancel the cuts. Those awful Medicaid cuts that we saw in the Big Ugly Bill, the largest health care cut in history, that is actively harming Illinoisans. And we want to make sure that we can reverse that damage. Number two, we got to lower costs. Like, that is the number one issue on the mind of my constituents for sure. And, Donald Trump campaigned and said that that would be his priority, that he would lower costs on day one. And we're still waiting. And then number three, we want to save our health care.
For WCPT 820 and Heartland Signal, I'm Andy Miles.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's Progressive Talk from TuneIn.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway, or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
We need to speak out about this.
At 773-763-9278.
Hello.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
There's a lot we got to speak out about, and I want to know what's on your mind. The Credo mobile phone and text lines open, 773-763-9278. And WCPT listeners now get 25% off for 2 years at Credo Mobile with the code WCPT25. Credo Mobile, progressive phone company that is better for all people and the planet. Visit credomobile.com. Let's get right to our phone calls right out of the gate. We've got Jim in Chicago. Hey, Jim, what's on your mind, my friend? How you doing?
Hey, Patty, every time you mention Comey, all I think of how he that announcement he makes I was leaving for the track that afternoon, and I was just sick to my stomach. Then I got a call from my elderly aunt. She said, "Can you believe that Nutt said that he's going to open the investigation again?" But anyway, what does he do? He turns on Comey anyway. Comey helped him get elected. I mean, you can't say precisely what he did, but it certainly didn't help when the swing states. But we've got an opportunity now to. The 7 Democrats in the Senate have got to shut the government down immediately. I mean, they can't even think about it. They can't give one vote to this bill. This bill is, God only knows how many people will be hurt by this bill, and they can't allow it to go forward. And they asked, this criminally insane person in the ballroom, can we sit down, and try to talk this over? Oh, no, I'm not talking any lefties, any crazy lefties that are, crazy. They're crazy, these lefties, crazy. Like he's a president only for his base, Yes. Everybody else can take a jump in Lake Michigan. But, and the way the networks will step over themselves, not to say anything against the Republican Party. For instance, the shootout at the another gun insane person with monogram bullets. What if you can imagine, Patty? You go out, you're going to shoot, and you're going to monogram the bullets. I mean, that's what I call really. Now that's.
I don't get what's going on with that element of all these stories.
That's psychiatric. I mean, you need there's nobody can explain that. But anyway, he put things on the bullet, but the way they couched it again today, that they were terrorists, that shot and so on and so forth. In the meantime, the people being held in that jail, half of them are, not even half of them, 90% of them are innocent.
Right.
To begin with, and they have no representation, but they don't mention that. They sanction this insanity, which is, think about it, Patty. Now, I've been around for quite a few moons. Is this the way to run immigration? Is this seriously the way that...
It's not about immigration. It is about having a target, having red meat for the MAGA base, for them to get all excited that we're, these criminals, these illegals. They've been dehumanizing them for 20 years. Since the Bush administration, they have been dehumanizing Latinos in this country and trying to find ways to get rid of them. And then you have farmers all over the country who don't know how they're going to replenish their labor force, because 45% of the labor force on farms are immigrants, and 23% of those are undocumented, which means that those farmers, those company owners, were breaking the law, and they're the ones that should be paying the fines and going to jail.
Yeah, but Patty, we're all created equal. I mean, isn't that we're all created equal? So that means that no matter where you're at, I don't care where you're at on this planet. If you're breathing and you're walking down the road, we're all created equal. But the point, this is, it's so expensive, Patty. First of all, $200 billion, and that's just what we know about. To the South, to the secret police of Stephen Miller. Let's face it, because Stephen Miller,
God, that guy.
And what about that crazy baseball team that you root for? They lowered their flag to half staff. Then
I don't root for the Cubs anymore. I don't.
The nut took off for the parlay there in Arizona. He took the game off. Now, the last time I remember any Cubby taking a day off was Adolfo Phillips. I should see him on the track on a Saturday. He ditched the game to go to the track. Now, that's like 1960s, Yeah. But this is the first guy who ditched the game to go to one of these fiascos. But anyway, they got to shut the government down. That's all I can do.
I hope that some of these Democrats have a spine of steel, because they already. How many of them voted for to commemorate Charlie Kirk on his birthday and have a day for it? I don't have confidence that the Democrats are going to do the right thing. And I know I believe that was a congressional. I don't know how many senators voted for that, and that's where we have to hang our hopes on, is that they will. As you said, let the president, let Donald Trump wear the jacket and take the responsibility for shutting down the government.
Yeah, let him swim in it. Let him swim in the Republicans swim in it. Let him swim in it. All right, Patty. Thanks so much, dear.
Thanks so much, Jim. Take care. Let's get to Dave in Hoffman Estates. What's on your mind, Dave?
Hey, Patty.
Hey.
Yeah, talking about Comey. Hell, Trump had threw his own vice president under the bus. He was going to let him get hung. He's to nobody.
Nope.
Don't care. It's what have you done for me lately, Should know that by now.
I know.
But, if you ain't been watching the right news. But what you were mentioning earlier on that Alligator Alley story, like me and Lady B were just chatting all of that. On his first term, if you recall, remember when they snatched all of them babies and stuff from the mother's arms and stuff, and they have no clue where they were put?
And that's the thing that came up on my Facebook page today is someone on my page, because I wrote about how there are 1,200 people missing from Alligator Auschwitz. Someone wrote, you don't care about the 450,000 kids that were lost under Biden, which is not even a number. That's true. And then the thousand, it was under the Trump administration. It was under the Trump administration. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had them, and then they had them with the space blankets or something where they looked like giant burritos or something laying in there. And that just so dehumanizing how they could vote it for him. I do not know. But I seen the story where the former Pima County supervisor, Adelia Grivaldi, easily won the special election in Arizona.
Adelita won her election, yes. I believe it was her father's seat. She becomes the first Latina to hold a seat in that state. Yep.
Yeah, and that means that there's enough Democrats and Republicans who will be able to force a vote on the House floor over the Justice Department's release of Jeff Epstein's files.
Yeah. Did you hear about the statue in D.C.?
Yes, I was going to mention that one next to you. It's funny.
Yeah. They're holding hands. It looks like they're skipping. But, there are things that are coming out. This whole universe, I feel so naive when I learn these stories, like about Erica Kirk, that she got this email back in like 2009, 2010 to be a model. And then she started a ministry when she was 17. She competed in Trump's Miss America. She became sort of this casting director, was asked to leave Romania on rumors of child trafficking, and then went to have some sort of meeting, interview for a job with Charlie Kirk, but decided she wanted to date him. I can't. And then you go back to Epstein, this guy who was hired by William Barr's dad at a boarding school when he didn't even have a degree. All of these elements are absolutely bonkers. And somehow they keep the lies about us, the lies about liberals, and the things that those stories take off when the truth is also crazy and appalling, but doesn't take hold for these folks.
Yeah. And then talk about that twisted webs like that. And then remember when the former New Jersey governor had his son-in-law's dad put him to prison?
Yeah.
The names I'm blanking, but the stories I'm remembering, and the big guy in Jersey, the one that he made fun of later on. Oh yeah, Chris Christie.
Oh yeah, who was that in the background? Is that your wife? I love the way she was sing-singing.
Yes, the smart
Chris
one.
Christie.
Because I got this blanks and
by the way, thank you for sending me the meme about the quote from Donald Trump. A shutdown falls on the president's lack of leadership. Problems start from the top and they have to get solved from the top. A shutdown means the president is weak. That was by Donald J. Trump in 2013, of course, in the face-off between Democrats and Republicans under President Obama. When President Obama was trying to inject revenue into the economy and he was trying to do essentially programs that were similar to FDR's, work programs, shovels in the ground, and Republicans didn't want to see the economy improve under President Obama. So
yeah, I thought you'd like that one. Perfect time. And I'll close out with that. Did you see that on October 5th, CNN's going to have that special on your city that you love, New Orleans?
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. I think you mentioned that yesterday. Thank you very much for that. I will stay tuned for that. Thank you, Dave.
All right.
All right,
Be
thank
well.
you. You too. Let's take a break here. These calls, this segment is sponsored by Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. For a limited time, they do have a discount for your entire order with the promo code DriveHome10. And I do absolutely love their coffee. I was so excited to come back. I mean, there's good coffee in Europe, but there isn't Pride Coffee Roasters good. And I absolutely love there's just all their different flavors. You know what? Also, you can taste the love in every single cup of coffee. So it's pridecoffeeroasters.com. And we are going to be, I'll be at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market with them, but you can go to their website and find out what markets they'll be, maybe near you. pridecoffeeroasters.com. And if you don't live in the Chicagoland area, you can order a bean subscription. So put that order in and drive home 10 for your discount. More in a moment on WCPT 820 and KKNW 1150.
Fall is here and colder nights are on the way. Is your home ready to stay warm and energy efficient? Green Attic is Chicagoland's trusted expert in attic insulation, spray foam, crawl space encapsulation, and mold remediation, solutions that seal in comfort and cut down on high heating bills. If your upstairs feels drafty or your heating system is constantly running, your attic may be to blame. Their team helps balance temperatures and reduce energy waste from the top down. They also offer full-service roofing through Green Attic Roofing, covering asphalt shingles, flat roofs, premium roofing solutions, and solar panels. Every project comes with a 10-year labor warranty and instant online estimates to help homeowners replace aging roofs before winter sets in. With over 15 years of experience and over 1,000 five-star reviews, Green Attic delivers real comfort season after season. Visit greenattic.com for a free insulation consultation or go to greenatticroofing.com for an instant roofing estimate today.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
I know Myrna's got something to say because she was like, are you taking calls? Hi, Myrna. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hi. A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned you were comparing the number of stations, progressive stations compared to conservative.
Yep.
This might sound kind of dumb, but just something came to me. There are no stations in Chicago that are progressive and in Spanish.
Nope.
And I think that maybe your show would be a great place to maybe have like a half-hour show.
You know what's interesting about that? Our regular guest, Jaime de Leon, asked about possibly programming an entire progressive show here, and I should introduce him to our station manager because I think Gwen LaRocca, I know Soli Santos. I know I am not fluent, so I cannot participate in that. I would be holding on for dear life, trying to communicate in Spanish.
Hold on, baby. I think you would be perfect for it because you could bring your mom in as a contributor on the phone. You already have Lady B right there.
Yes.
Your son.
That's a good point. Oh, Griffin.
School.
Yeah, he's fluent. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and he could do the couple of, maybe a couple of minutes there since he's going to be on vacation for Christmas and stuff. So you could do like a test run.
Yeah, let me do a pitch. Let me get a meeting together with Gwen, with Jaime, Soli and Alicia, and cause that's part of. And I'm sorry, Esmeralda Leon. So that would be perfect. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of really talented voices here who are also Spanish speakers. So let me put that together and make a pitch to the station.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No, thank you for the reminder. I appreciate it. And Roosevelt would appreciate that too, I'll bet. Hold on a second. Let's see. Roosevelt, sound good to you?
Patty, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. Did you hear what Myrna asked if we could have a Spanish-speaking segment once a week? The Progressive Talk?
It just happens to be that I know something about a little birdie told me, and I'm going to tell cousin Myrna that I got good news for her.
Oh, hold on. She's still on the line. Here, Myrna, Roosevelt, Myrna, go ahead. Yep, here you go.
How you doing, cuz? Prima? ¿Cómo está, prima?
Hi, primo. I'm good. How are you, primo?
Fantastic. Hey, listen, I got good news for you. You can tune in. Can I say the name of the station, the number and everything, Patty?
I don't know. Lady B and I are a little bit like, if we're going to put a segment together here, why would you want to drive people to another station? Yeah. So you're saying there's
no. Oh, I got you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm trying to get at is I got a perfect candidate for you. The lady that runs the show on another station, totally in Spanish. And she's right. She's an independent, and she just rips on Trump on a daily basis because she's seeing what he's doing.
Good.
So she has a couple of knuckleheads. She hasn't.
Yeah.
To me, we butt heads because I tell her, you're wasting your time with these MAGA people, and that she hasn't shed yet because she has such a kind heart, like you, but. You and me bumped heads at one time, and I'm bumping heads with her right now, and she still lets these people on the air, I'll be honest with you. There's just a few of them, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But she would be a perfect candidate. I don't know if I should get into the middle of this, but
I think we have a pretty good – I think between Esmeralda Leon, Jaime de Leon, Alicia Molina, and Gwen LaRocca.
That's right.
Yeah.
She speaks Spanish. I forgot all about that.
All of them do. All of them speak Spanish. I'm the only one.
And they are. And they are totally progressive.
Yes.
So there you go, cousin.
And they are no BS. So, and Lady B.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot about your friend Esmeralda Leon.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I jump into it?
We just lost
cousin,
Greg.
Nice
You guys made Greg go away. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's up, Roosevelt?
Okay, so what do you think of that, cousin?
Yeah.
I guess, like Pat said, let's start with the local talent at the station.
But that's a fantastic idea.
Maybe do like during the weekend because I don't hear advertising for weekend shows. I don't hear advertising for.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Somebody just said. Somebody just wrote, "Dear Patty."
Is there something wrong, Patty?
No, I can hear you.
Is there something wrong, Patty, with the connection?
They can't hear me. They can't hear me anymore.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, no. Okay. They can't hear me anymore. Lady B, Lady B, can you tell them that I can hear them, but apparently they can't hear me anymore? That's a weird little glitch we've had recently. Someone just said, "Dear Patty, when you speak Spanish, it makes my high schooler feel very proud about his accent." Sí, no puedo hablar español muy bien. So I apologize. Lo siento. No, perdóname. No puedo. Although when I was in Paris, I kept trying to speak. I kept trying to speak Spanish because I was hoping that would. I was under the impression that Europeans spoke a bunch of languages, but no, just French and English were the only ones. Let me see. Myrna, can you hear me now? No. Hi, Roosevelt, can you hear me? No. All right. Sorry. Mark writes that. Hi, Lady B. I'm getting chills. It's Jay. Yeah, in English people say Jamie, but when you see the name spelled Jaime, that's Jaime, which is how you say James, Jimmy, kind of in Spanish. It's so funny. I can't pull up your microphone, Lady B, because I did not. I need to learn. That's the thing about getting here right the last. I know, but I have to rotate through, and I've forgotten how to do that again. To take. Let me see. Hold to select. This is what we do on the air because we're already going to do a podcast with Up North, and I don't. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna find it. So we can talk to Lady B and work on this. No, is it T Program B or is it Mike? I don't know which one it is. I have no source. Nope, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm such an idiot. I can't speak Spanish and I can't control my own board. We're pulling back the curtain. So I'm trying to. Let's see. Is it this one? Let's try that. Is that it? Lady B?
T.
Hey!
Hi.
There you go. Hi, you. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea to have a Spanish-speaking progressive show on the station.
No. I think we might have, but it's not, they play music and it's religious in Spanish.
Oh, but one of our other stations?
That's in WSBC, I believe.
But what do you think? Do you think that they would be open at WCPT, like on the weekends, to have an hour of Spanish-speaking progressive talk?
It would be great
to
capture all those
You don't see it happening, though.
Because, if we can get all those progressive Spanish people listening to our station instead of going to the mega, it would be great. It would be great. I would love it. And like you say, we have Jaime de Leon, we have Esmeralda.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I mean, we got the people.
We got the people. We just need the platform.
Right.
For them. Yeah. It can't just be me because I just got the one. It's so funny how hot, because the problem is I try to translate something from because I've never been immersed. I've never had to rely on Spanish, right? Because Mom was learning English when I was little. Up until I went to grade school, I could understand Spanish. I've never been fluent. Even when I was better 20 years ago, before Declan was born, I used to speak Spanish to Griffin. But they told me when Declan was born, because they thought that he was deaf or they weren't sure what his hearing capacity was or his ability to understand language, they told me that I needed to speak one language because his brain needed to be able to needed to respond to English, to the language he was going to rely on the most. Oh, yeah. His speech therapist told me to stop speaking Spanish in the house. I'm fine.
That was wrong because I didn't stop speaking Spanish with Jessie, and she understands both. At first I wasn't sure,
right? But
when I was giving her commands and stuff, and she would look, and she would understand. And I noticed her watching a lot of novelas with my mom and me, so I knew she understood Spanish and then English too.
Right.
Because when I mix the both at home. I do.
Right.
And so
I know. I need to go back and it's on me now. I can't. I know. It's on me now though to get it back because I was better 20 years ago. I just haven't relied on it at all. But I've never been in an environment where it was the only language spoken ever in my life. Like my mom just didn't. And I've never lived anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so I had to translate
only Spanish and then outside with English.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we mix it up because my mom, she spoke English, but it was very heavy accent.
Right.
So it was. I love the way she speaks English. But before her dementia.
Right.
It's so cute to me with their heavy accent.
Well, that's how I do my mom's accent when I'm on stage. My mom's very cute too. Yeah.
So
she works so hard to speak English too. I think Roosevelt, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we've only got about 30 seconds. What do you want to say about which press conference did you want to talk about?
I'll be super quick. Dallas.
Oh.
Do you trust anybody with a uniform now coming from Texas?
No, I don't. I honestly, the fact that two detainees were killed, and they still want to come out and say that it's the liberals' fault for the language.
Yeah, that's my point.
I don't buy it at all. No.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Take care,
You
Roosevelt.
too.
Let's take a break here. When we come back, we've got the Up North podcast by Minocqua Brewing Company, joined by Amy Thomas, Ben Cominos, and, of course, Kirk Bangstad. I'll be joining them in a moment on WCPT 820, Heartland Signal, and KKNW 1150. Let's see how this goes.
Hey, progressives, this is Richard Chu, host of Chu's Views here on WCPT AM 820, 6 to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. We have some real challenges in front of us as a country. Since the beginning of this show, I have always felt compelled to bring you the best that I've got. Now, there's always a why to doing whatever we do. So, as we go forward and face these challenges, know this: you listeners are my why. Because I want to make sure I do everything I can to provide a safe, open, forward-moving space that allows you to call, email, text, or just listen to a guy that wants to help you bring out your own championship qualities to truly make this place better for us all. Lofty goal, idealistic, maybe so. But that's my why, and I look forward to bringing you the best that I've got. This is Richard Chu. Stay tuned.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The family of one of the 67 people killed when an airliner collided with an Army helicopter over Washington, D.C. in January has sued the government and the airlines involved,
accusing them of failing to recognize the warning signs after more than 30 documented near misses in the area.
They nevertheless allowed their customers to be exposed to the dangers associated with those near misses.
Attorney Bob Clifford.
There's a corporate negligence and accountability.
The lawsuit also seeks to hold the Federal Aviation Administration and the Army accountable. The final NTSB report identifying the cause of the crash will not be released until at least next year. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Homeland Security says one detainee was killed and 2 others critically injured at a ICE facility in Dallas today. The shooter opening fire with a rifle from a roof before taking his own life. A federal judge has refused to immediately reinstate 8 former inspectors general. They sued after the Trump administration fired them with no warning and little explanation. And the Trump administration's holding back grants to some very big school districts.
Schools in New York City, Chicago, and Fairfax County in Virginia missed an administration deadline to agree to stop giving students access to locker rooms and restrooms corresponding with their gender identity. The Education Department says it will not certify they are in compliance with federal civil rights law, making them ineligible for funding for specialty magnet schools. New York City schools will lose about $15 million. A department spokeswoman says public school parents have every right to expect an excellent education, not ideological indoctrination, masquerading as inclusive policy. A spokesperson for New York's Mayor Eric Adams says the federal government is threatening to defund our children's education as a tool to change policies it doesn't like. Ed Donahue, Washington.
This is AP News. In the nation's capital tonight, there's a dinner getting underway at a very exclusive club. Julie Walker has the story.
Washington's hottest new club has everything. Cabinet secretaries, a new stone patio, white and yellow striped umbrellas, food from the White House kitchen, and even a playlist curated by President Trump.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
The Rose Garden Club, formerly just the Rose Garden, the lawn outside the Oval Office, resembles Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach. Presidents have always used invitations to the White House as a prestigious reward for friends and supporters, but Trump's rebranding of an iconic area of the People's House is unprecedented. Trump debuted the Rose Garden Club earlier this month and is set to host another event Wednesday night. I'm Julie Walker.
There's more news and the latest developments at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thank you for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. A few isolated showers tonight with a low temperature of 60 and winds out of the north at 5 to 15. Thursday, chance of showers and a few thunderstorms early in the day, and then sunshine in the afternoon with a high temperature of 71 degrees. Friday, lots of sun with a high temperature of 80. Saturday, sunny with a high temperature of 81 degrees. Sunday, plenty of sun with a high temperature of 77. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 70.
WCPT will be broadcasting a live in-person Union Strong panel on Wednesday, October 15th from 3 to 5 p.m. And you're invited. Join me, Tom Hartman, and WCPT's morning host, Richard Chu, at the Ironworkers Local 63 Training Center in Broadview. Panelists include Paul Wendy from Ironworkers Local 63, Rob Fulton from Riggers Local 136, Cliff Horowitz from Horowitz & Associates, Andy Rico from IBEW Local 176, and Tom Villanova from Southland Friends of Labor. This event is proudly sponsored by Ironworkers Local 63, Riggers Local 136, Horowitz and Associates, IBEW Local 176, and Southland Friends of Labor. Wednesday, October 15th from 3 to 5 p.m., Ironworkers Local 63 Training Center, 2523 Lexington Street in Broadview. That's just off the 25th Street exit on the Eisenhower Expressway. All listeners must register to attend this free event at WCPT820.com. Just click on the banner.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us, and hello to our friends listening on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and our friends in Seattle on KKNW 1150, the alternative talk of Seattle. And we are about to turn this over to Up North Podcast, starting right now, hosted by the one and only Kirk Bangstad. They don't look like they're ready to go. All their mics are muted. No? Are we? Okay, then. We went to zero. Hey, Kirk, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Ben can hear me. Hey, Ben Cominos at 1150 WHBY News Talk. Good to see you in your cubicle.
Yeah, I was trying to be in the studio. There was no camera, so here we go.
Here we go. And I think Kirk just needs to unmute himself. You're muted, Kirk.
Reminds me of COVID.
I know. This is
Hello, how are you doing? Amy, did you roll the music?
I rolled the music, but I could not hear the music. So we'll have to figure that out.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. You are here at the Up North Podcast. This is our inaugural podcast, and we have been working diligently to make this happen for you all. We have people from all over the place right now. I am actually in the Minocqua Brewing Company Madison tap room, and across the table from me is